right, man.
What's up, man?
We're back, man, and we're gonna review the House of Psychotic Women box set from Severin, man. And it's been out like 2 years, but
Yeah, we've been planning on this one for a while. It just
yeah,
never
we've
got
kind of
around
put it
to
on
it.
the back burner. Uh,
Yeah. Um,
but
man, 4 films. Fuck me. It's gonna be
these
a good. I
four
think it's gonna be
films
a
are
good one.
like definitely some psychotic women, but like they're so. Kayla Janice is the author of the House of Psychotic Women book, which I need to get that book, to be honest.
Oh man, I've just been reading it.
Yeah.
I'll just quickly show it off.
Oh, you
There
got
it
it.
is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
like a hardback.
Awesome.
It's
Awesome.
signed by her and everything.
Hell
And
yeah.
what's interesting about that book is, right? So
Yeah.
she had a really bad childhood. I presume she is out there anyway, so she wouldn't mind me saying this. But she grew up in a really bad childhood with a mother give her away at a young age, and she's it's like almost like an autobiographical look at the way she grew up through films. It's superb, man. I've not read all of it yet. I'm only like a quarter of the way through it, but man,
Yeah.
I can't put it down. It's so good.
So
I
is the
highly
book, it's
recommend it.
like basically going through all the films of women with like neurosis, right?
Yeah, and there is a ton.
Yeah.
She does mention there's something like 200-300 films mentioned, because this is like the expanded edition. She
Yeah.
made this back, I presume, in like 2012, and
Okay.
obviously it wasn't updated with the newer films, but now it's kind of like the complete edition. You can get this for like £20, worth every penny, in my opinion.
Okay. I remember it was in the Severin bundle, which I didn't get that bundle, but I got this set right here, House of Psychotic Women. I got it when they had a sale going on, and I got a really good deal on it, man. So
I've had it, like you say, for 2 years.
yeah, I've
And
had
I've
it
been
maybe
trying to go
6 months or something. I don't know.
something like that, innit? Yeah. I've been putting off watching the other two until we did this stream.
Yeah.
But now I've seen all four. Crazy stuff, man.
That's the least you can say. These four films are crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I had only seen the one film, which is LeOrme, or Footprints on the Moon, or Primal Impulse. Pulse. That's the only one I had seen out of these four. But yeah, man. There's some interesting films, man. I'm gonna kind of show which ones we're gonna be talking about first. I got to cover this one up a little bit. So, The Other Side of the Underneath, filmed by Jane Arden, and she's writer, director. She stars in the film. It's an experimental film. These people are like, they were like theater people, role playing, and they're all on acid while they're making the film. Except I think Jane Arden was like super drunk, from what I understand. But it's a wild ass film. That's the first one we're talking about. Come out in
Can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah, come out in 1972, and it's the first. Yeah. It's the first British film in the 1970s to be directed by a woman.
That's right. Yeah.
So, hold on. Let me catch the chat right quick. We got Fat Pig the Conqueror. What's up, everyone? What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
Texas says, "Welcome back to the panel of pain."
Hey,
yeah,
what's up,
and this is all about pain in this one. Like, real.
One of the films
films
is fucking literally all about pain. Even watching it, man.
Yeah,
but we'll come on to that.
Yeah. But yeah, and my beautiful wife's in there. She says, "These are some crazy women, guys. It's going to be a fun stream. Y'all come hang out." Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, what's up, Josh?
They're out their damn rocker, man. But are they off their rocker? That's another thing. Like, that's the question I always got. I don't never just look at shit at face value, the surface level. There's deeper shit going on.
In every single one of these is like that. Yeah. Ambiguity, I can't even say it, but
ambiguity.
Ambiguity is just every single film. But yeah, Footprint's always been my favorite. Identikit again has been one of my favorites.
Yeah, I might
So
as
it was
well
good to
mention
go
the
back.
others that we're going to talk about. So Identikit's in this set, or the driver's seat, right? That's the American title.
Yeah.
Driver's seat.
Taken from the
Elizabeth
novel.
Taylor, and people were shitting on her performances during this time. A lot of people called this like her trash cinema, and people were saying she wasn't that good looking. I thought she still was a beautiful
Man,
woman. So
that's insane to say that. She
yeah.
was like one of the best middle-aged women of the time, even
Right.
in that. Yeah.
And then like what I just mentioned, Footprints, of course, man. This is by far, it has to be, like, that I've seen anyway. Unless somebody else knows, let me know, because I want to watch that shit. It's the most ambiguous giallo that I know of. Like, for real. Like,
yeah.
And then I Like Bats, 1985. But the woman on the commentary was saying 86, which is fair play. Maybe it is 86, but what I looked up on it was 85. So I don't know. But
never interesting one.
Yeah, man. I Like Bats. Yeah, I remember that poster, man, when I was a kid. And I remember seeing that poster, like, in some film. I seen it on somebody's door or some shit in another movie.
Okay, yeah.
But I've always seen that image. But and I might have seen it in the video store back in the day. But yeah.
Yeah, that Kayla Janice, she said about that film. She was Googling something one day and the poster of that film popped up. And she said as soon as she researched it, it's the film she had to try and find. And lucky,
Yeah, I remember that image though somewhere, man. Like, I know this is the first time. I know we're like 2 years behind on this review, but this is the first time that it's ever been on a disc in North America anyway. So I don't know.
Yeah, it was thought of as maybe a lost film, and I presume the first one as well was thought of a lost film. Definitely at one point.
I would say the first one, yeah. The other side
there's
of the
no way you
Underneath.
could get hold of it at all. Until this
I'm imagining that one was pretty hard to get, but
yeah.
But man, where do we start with that one, man? Like, how do you explain that shit?
Right, yeah, this is.
I didn't bother with synopsis this go round, like I usually do.
Yeah,
but man, I don't want to, because I was reading a few synopsis on it, and I just don't think that's fair. Like to just label it like that, like.
I've literally got written down. I've got the way the film begins, which I can mention. I've got some scenes we can go through as well if you want.
Okay.
But yeah, the director, as you said, Jane Adam, tragically passed away and committed suicide 10 years after this was made.
Yeah.
Her performance is just fucking. She's more crazier than the women in the asylum for me.
And that's another thing. All the women in the asylum, they're all wearing like these Victorian nightgowns from like
really dirty and
and it's real. One of the ladies, Natasha Morgan, on this disc on the interview, she was saying that they had a real bear in another room and it was fucking clawing through the fucking wall. Like,
nothing surprises me with this.
And they were just out of their minds making this film, man. Like, it is. I'm gonna show a clip in a little bit, but
they literally done LSD from the moment they were on set and probably afterwards as well. All the way through the film.
Now, a lot of that, Darren. So I was hearing that it was in Wales. Like, so that looked familiar to you, right?
Right. So I'm watching the film, and within like 5 minutes. There's a shot of the Newport Transporter Bridge, which is literally 5 minutes from where I lived.
Damn.
And not that far from where I live now, to be honest. And I'm like, holy shit. So I'm grabbing my phone then. I'm looking it up, man. It has to be, because there's only 2 transporter bridges in the UK. There's one in Wales, where I am, and there's one in Middlesbrough, which is right up north. But I could tell by the accents and everything at this point, this was made in Newport, or like the surrounding, so it's called Gwent. It's like a county of where I live in. It's called Gwent, and it's all filmed around there. And I was like, holy shit, man. I had no idea.
You're talking about like just the, I mean, of course, it'd have to be like the segment of the film where it goes out into the exteriors with the hippies and
that's all done in a place called Blaenau Gwent. The bridge part, I literally used to work in a bakery within like a minute's walk of that bridge. It's insane. So that piqued my interest straight away.
Texas says, I finally watched Nightmare. Holy shit.
Is that Nightmare in the Damaged Brain? You on about Tex?
I'm assuming Nightmares in the Damaged Brain, yeah.
Oh shit, I thought you might have watched that before.
Yeah, man. I wonder what you thought, Tex, because a lot of people's split on that one. So
it's starting to get a bit more love now, I think.
I've always loved it, man. It's not surface level either, I don't think. I think there's some crazy shit going on. Anyway, I'm not gonna get on that film. We got a full review on that one. So if y'all
go and check that. Check
that one out.
Earlier reviews.
But on this one, man, the other side of the underneath, man, experimental psychological drama. It's like I'm feeling like it's I'm feeling like it was like there's undertones of these people are in a mental hospital, but they're not getting the proper treatment. They're not getting the proper care. Like that's kind of what I was getting from it. Like
right. So Jane Adam plays a psychiatrist, and she's like interviewing these girls or giving them group therapy, I suppose is the best way to say it. And like I said earlier, she's crazier, if not as crazy as them, if not crazier.
Yeah.
But like Dirk said, the film was a director's experimental. It's like radically feminist Holocaust theater group, it was called. And what happened during the filming of this as well, which is kind of touched upon in the extras, that some of these actresses or whatever died during the filming of this due to like the heavy drug use, and I don't know what went on.
Natasha Morgan said that an actual couple, they were a couple, they died during
which is when you see this film, you will kind of understand. It's here's the best way to put it. It's like they've given all these actresses, girls, women, like LSD, and they've kind of shot them, and they just told them to improvise. It's literally like 2 hours of just that.
But there's some legit theater actors and actresses. You know?
Yeah, there's one lady in there that plays the older woman. I think she gets topless.
Sheila Allen, right?
Yeah. She's a well-known UK actress who's like in sitcoms and everything. Okay. And I'm like, shit, I bet she wants to forget about this one.
Is she the one that has the long red nose? Like, that's her, right?
Oh no, I'm thinking of someone else. I'm thinking the one with the long blonde hair, and she's kind of topless, but she does show her breasts a bit later on in the film.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Sheila Allen though. She's great.
She's a crazy,
she's out of her damn mind. Like it's. I mean, man. I can't shit on this film. This is an experimental film. This is not made to please everyone. I think they're pushing boundaries. It's very surreal, like surrealism. Like we talk about surreal films sometimes, but this is on a whole nother level of that shit. Like this is
I mean, I was gonna like come on and literally this film did nothing for me. But I don't wanna, entirely shit on this film because it's just a film that's not meant for me. But in terms of everything that went on like all in the background and some of the scenes and all that, it's interesting enough. I think everyone should maybe give it a go.
I could definitely see this like being put on in the background at a party back in the day, I'm sure they had like projector, they play it like that or some shit at a party or something.
Right. But it almost reminds me of something like the fucking Manson family.
It does. It's got the Manson vibes big time, dude.
Yeah. I'm sure that must have been some kind of influence in some way.
It's highly disturbing still, I think. Like it's with a kind of like a look into schizophrenia, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, definitely. That's the main kind of narrative, I think.
But like this release, man, like so I said we were going to do a full depth review. because I don't think that it's had one. I mean, I know people have talked about the, when they got the box, a nice shiny box, and the movies and everything, but they didn't really go into the films. They might have talked about one film or whatever, but I was like, nah, we're gonna do a review, damn it. Look at this shit.
Yeah, well, some of these YouTubers just,
yeah, man.
The way it goes with them. But I do want to mention like how the film begins. So
okay.
It begins with this woman. She's being dragged out of this lake, and she's being revived from a possible maybe suicide attempt. It's not really said. She's taken to this mental hospital, right, isolated out in the Welsh countryside. And there we see flashbacks intercut with group therapy sessions, with all these women, like Dirk said, in dirty, like, nightgowns and shit. And,
pure sadness. I mean, if I had one word to describe the film, it's sadness. But I can't just describe it in one word. It's a sadness, nightmarish, psychedelic, fucking like ride, man. It's
very fucking downbeat, very grim,
very dreadful. Yeah, like. But Jane Arden was highly depressed too, from what I understand. So
yes, and you would imagine doing this film would take its toll on someone as well. Just the subject matter and the way it's shot.
Yeah.
But we've got a scene early on as well where this woman, she plays a game with a fellow inmate with broken mirrors, and they move the pieces around.
That is a fucking strange film.
Dangerous.
That is Jane Arden, right?
Yeah.
The brunette chick, the lead chick, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm making sure that's her, because I was kind of confused if that was her or not. Like,
no, I think so. It was insane because, like you say, there's this jester that turns up, this woman with the nose.
You want me to play a clip? Let me go ahead and play the clip.
It just keeps popping up every so often, and those scenes are like, yeah, go for it.
Okay, I'm gonna play a clip. This clip is like a minute. Let me catch the chat before I do that.
Okay, yeah.
Text says, it was nightmares on a damaged brain. Hell yeah, man. It's nuts, but funny too. Okay, I'm glad you liked it, man. Hopefully.
It's the top 20 slasher easily.
It's a damn good one to me. It gets a lot of hate, but and that's who's that director? It's an Italian director.
That's Roman Scavellini.
Scavellini, that's right.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Fat Pig the Conqueror says, "Text there's some real filth in the special features if you have the Severin." Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I do have it, Pig, but it was there to watch on the Arrow channel, but I'll definitely watch it again soon. Cool. All right, I'm going to show that clip, man. This is some wild, bonkers.
Give some context into this film as well.
Let me, they just changed, StreamYard changed some things on me, so there we go. They got a different category, so it got me screwed up. All right, here we go.
Read your mouth, little girl. I need it for my night. Either you want a magic act or you don't.
Strength, little girl, is madness. And madness is the persistent belief in one's own hatefulness.
Yeah, man.
Fucking hell, man, that is crazy shit. Yeah,
I just kind of did a little sample there, so it's but
it's
that's pretty much
like
the whole
that,
fucking film, right?
Literally 2 hours of that in no real context, much context at all. The imagery in the film is incredible. So you've got funerals, masters' weddings, you've got women masturbating and puking up in churches. They murder each other with these weapons of like rubber as well, like imaginary murder each other and shit. And they're all hailed as saints. And they're depicted as being burnt alive and crucified at one point as well.
Yeah.
So you've got the crucifixion scene, which is what everyone will probably remember. Man, it's like some shit out the devils or something. I totally didn't make that up myself. I read that somewhere, someone saying that.
It does have. It is kind of. I could see that.
Book. Yeah,
like a parallel to the devils, not as on that level though. You know what I mean? Because like,
right, yeah.
That's got a true narrative. The Devils has a true narrative and structure of a story. Like this shit is. I mean, maybe I have to watch this film. I've seen it like probably 3 times now. It's fucking insane. But
she's Adam as well, who plays the psychiatrist. She keeps because they keep asking her questions, and all she just answers with another question, and it becomes so fucking confusing and like a mind fuck during the whole film.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who would you recommend this for, really? I think you've got to be very open-minded to watch this and enjoy it, I think.
Yeah, you got to be pretty open-minded. I'd say, like, upcoming filmmakers, people that are in the cult cinema, I would say give it a check out or watch. But it's not going to be, just know what you're getting in the store. It's experimental film, and they're all on drugs, like for real. So
just for that, I think even if you just watch it as a one-time watch, and just to say that you've seen it, because I doubt if I probably would thinking about it, because I said to do it before this stream started. I pretty much hated it, but now I've had a couple of days to like take it all in.
Yeah, I mean, for them to do this in over there in Britain too, that's what's insane to me. Like, because you could see that this shit wasn't gonna like what's her name? Mary Whitehouse, right?
Oh shit, there's no way. Yeah, there's no way she would have like classified
give a copy to Mary Whitehouse.
Right. Yeah, man.
Let her watch that shit on Christmas Day.
It's out there, put it that way, yeah.
Hold on, let's see. We got Russell in here.
Hey Russ, what's up, man?
What's going on, man? Let's see. Texas says that looked like the female version of Wicker Man. Yeah, you could kind of maybe a little bit.
It reminded me a bit of Clockwork Orange in like saying some kind of series.
Some of that dialogue is similar in a way.
Yeah.
Especially with the chick with the nose, Sheila Allen.
That's what reminded me of it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's before, right? I think this was shot in 1971.
Yeah. So this came out in 1973, did it officially? But it was
1972. What I found,
72.
But I don't know.
No, you are right. 1972. Yeah.
Okay.
So it would have been probably made like a year before 1971.
Let's see. We got Chris in here. Evening Savages. Happy holidays. What's going on, man?
Yeah. What's up, Chris? Keep gonna say the slasher dude, but formerly the slasher dude.
And Texas says, hey, all. Yeah, he's talking to Chris. All right. But yeah, man, I don't really know how much farther we could go with this one, man. You can't really spoil the film because.
No, you can't. You can't.
Nah.
I think, like, again, I said it's worth a watch. That crucifixion scene is insane.
Yeah. I mean.
But there's just a weird vibe in it.
I think that scene where she's got that sheep in the bed with her.
Yeah.
And then
what was all that about?
And then that closet's fucking rocking back and forth, and you can tell they sped it up.
Yeah.
And then the chick comes out of the closet and hits the fucking bed, and then she just starts fucking laughing hysterically. It's fucking nuts. But
so the sheep thing, I think I can say, because where I'm from in Wales, where that was shot, we're well known for like sheep, pretty much. Like
I heard that the other day.
Yeah, a lot of the English call us sheep shaggers. That's what they call the Welsh.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that was a little bit of that. But I think she was originally, so Jade Adam was originally born in Wales.
Okay.
And then she, I think she moved away for a long time, but went back obviously to make this. So that kind of makes sense. But yeah, it's nice to get a film, even though, I don't particularly care for it that much. to be made in my hometown kind of blows my mind because there's not many that I can think of. But yeah, how do you rate this as well? Like, it's a difficult one, man.
I think I gotta give it from like, because there's some shit that stays with you, man, after you watch it, and
oh yeah,
it really does. And I think I got to give it a 6 out of 10 just for that. So
right, yeah,
now,
I'm gonna probably differ a bit to you, but
well, I mean, I just got to appreciate for what they did. You know, like you got to think they had no budget, and I mean,
and what they did have probably all went on LSD. If you
and
think
the
about it.
creativity and like I don't know, man, that's some wild imagery and disturbing, like to keep it going, like you know, and some of the shots are just I don't know the way they set up the shots and I don't know, I dig it, man. I wouldn't say that I would go back to this a lot, you know,
right?
But I'm glad I've seen it. I'm glad it's in my collection. I'd say that.
It's probably one you might show one of your friends or something that kind of
how far
out the cinema is.
You want to see some fucked up shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of rating, I was going to go really low for this one, but I mean, since I've sat on it a little bit, I will give it kind of like a 3 or a 4 out of 10. Originally, and I have got it up on Letterboxd as a 1 out of 10. But I mean, I just wasn't expecting what was to follow.
Yeah.
So now I would say just for effort alone, it's worth a 3 or a 4 out of 10.
Okay.
And you could tell there's talent.
Well, that's fair. Like
there's talent behind the camera as well. I think you can tell.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm giving it a 6 just because of the performances and the creativity and you know, just the images, man. Like I said, that shit stays with you. I don't know.
No, you're right. There's plenty of films I've seen and I've given a 7 or 8 out of 10, and then I forget them a week later. They're gone from my head. Yeah. This one will always.
Yeah, you won't.
There's no way you'll forget this fucking film.
Yeah, you're not gonna forget some of the scenes and that shit. But
no.
But man, we're moving on. I don't think we can go too much deeper on that one, but like I said,
because there's no real structure to it, is there? There's no. You can't even discuss an ending really because
there is no structure. Like,
yeah.
But there's also really no structure to the next one either. Like, you know.
Oh, I don't know. It's
not a narrative, it's what I mean by it is stuff jumps around quite a bit. You mean
not straightforward? That's
not straightforward structure. Like it keeps the viewer, and from what I understand, I haven't read the novella, but what I understand, it's almost identical. The film is almost identical and true to the novella.
Yeah. Some of the scenes seem like just completely out the book.
And that's 1974's Identikit, man. Elizabeth Taylor, directed by I don't know how to say that first name, but I'm gonna say Petroni Griffey.
Yeah, Giuseppe Petroni Griffey.
Okay.
And he didn't do a lot, did he? I don't think
he didn't do a lot. He made a movie called Tis. Pity She's a Whore in 1971.
Right, and that was with Fabio Testi as well.
Yeah, Fabio Testi. Goodbye, Cruel Brother is the alternate title for that one. The Divine Nymph in 1975. I haven't seen it.
No.
La Gabbia, which is AKA The Trap, which is Fulci was a screenwriter for that one.
I was gonna say, Fulci wrote that, yeah.
And then later on, he redid it. It's The Devil's Honey, basically, but it's got Florinda Bolkan in it.
That's crazy, isn't these films are intertwined in different, Plus, it's got the same cinematographer as the next film as well, Footprints on the Moon.
Okay.
Pietro Storaro. He made it massively with Apocalypse Now. He went on to do the 2 Exorcist prequels. But you only got to look at his earlier Giallo films. He did The Fifth Chord, The Bird with the Crystal Plumage. Just those alone, you know. He was a really big star.
He did Dick Tracy, 1990.
Oh, the one was Warren
Beatty.
Warren Beatty, yeah.
I had Al Pacino
Yeah.
in there too, from what I
Right.
remember. But
Crazy, man.
The Last Emperor, that was a big title, 1987. It's
Yeah.
not my thing really, but I know it's a big, huge film. Apocalypse Now, though, is a epic war film.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt. I think he won Oscars, didn't he, at some point?
Yeah,
Yeah, he won Oscar.
definitely. He did The Conformist. Have you seen that one there? That one keeps
No.
coming up.
I want to see. There's a few like Antonioni and Bertolucci films that I want to see.
That one keeps coming up a lot, though.
It does.
I'm like, what the hell? Like,
I always say, once I get every single giallo I want to see out the way, and then I'll kind of go on to different subgenres of Italian film.
Yeah.
And work it from there. So I will get around to it. But just going to mention now Elizabeth Taylor. She did do a film called Night Watch in 1973, a year earlier, which is kind of like a horror. Well, it is a horror, I guess. And Secret Ceremony is the one you've seen. You said she's absolutely crazy in that one as well.
Yeah, Secret Ceremony is great. It's a lot slower paced than this one, though. But she's just as crazy in that one. And it's got Mia Farrow in there. She's pretty nuts, too. Like, it's weird. Like, Elizabeth Taylor is like a mother figure to Mia Farrow, and Mia Farrow acts like a little girl. It's fucking weird movie. But
I mean, I'm sold now on that.
Yeah.
Expect that one to follow. That'll be coming up at some point. She just come off, I think, a divorce with Richard Burton literally a day before filming.
They just got separated. So
yeah, they were in Italy together one day, I think, and he was doing another film.
They were separated. They took a trip to Italy. They were going to try to console their differences, and it just didn't work out. And then she had to go on the set to this first day. She was extremely late.
That's right. Yeah.
And she had to apologize to the whole cast and crew, and they all like accepted her apology and everything. She was sincere, sorry or whatever. But
you got to think she's a huge star as well. She was at one point they were like the most famous couple on the planet.
Yeah, they were the power couple. Yeah.
In Hollywood. And even at this point, I would imagine like there would have been starstruck people in the cast because she was still a massive star.
I didn't know this though about her, man. Did you know this? Like, so when she played Cleopatra, she negotiated the first ever $1 million contract for any actor or actress.
No, I didn't know that.
She negotiated. She was the first one to get $1 million as an actor or an actress.
That's insane, man. Because that makes you even think more that she didn't even have to do films like this.
No.
And I think she took this film on board is because she knew she could do something with the character. It's not this is by far not your fucking everyday character. This is just superb the way it's put out of order. You've got flashbacks, you've got flash forwards, and it's all kind of jumbled up.
Yeah, it's completely a mystery the whole time you watch it. And I can imagine, like, from what I understand, the book's the same way. Like the reader or the viewer, it's like because me and Tasha was watching and we're like, what in the fuck is going on? Like, like
they even at one point there's they show a character at one point that's not even mentioned in the film before because they fast forwarded it, and then the scene after is where he's introduced to her, and it's great. It's all shot, but I mean, it gives you enough clues throughout the whole film that I didn't guess it.
They're there.
And I mean, but it does on second watch. You can see the clues.
Definitely,
if that makes sense.
It's all there, but it's done so well that you're not gonna figure that shit out. Like,
no, not first time. There's no way.
And I don't think we need to spoil this one, right?
No, there's no way I'm gonna spoil this.
Yeah, we can't spoil this.
This I would say is up there one of the best endings you'll ever see, and I know I've said that a few times.
And very original.
It's I will say it goes to a point where at this moment in time in the early 70s, what happens would kind of like unheard of. Now you see it a little bit more. It's in the press a little bit more.
Right.
But at that time, that fucking scene is so disturbing to me. And I've seen it like 5 or 6 times, this film.
Yeah.
People just
it's a
gotta
bleak,
see that ending.
And that's the thing about the. So we got to mention Muriel Spark, the writer.
Yeah.
We got to mention her. Like most of all her characters, like her lead characters in like all her novels, they all have some kind of a tragic ending. I'll just say that.
Right. Yeah. She
and
was a Scottish author as well, I think.
yeah. But nah, man, this one right here blew me away. Really did. Tasha, she loved it, man.
I knew. I didn't even think Tasha would.
I
watch it, to be
didn't
honest.
see that coming. Like she usually don't watch stuff like that in the 70s. And I said, look, Elizabeth Taylor's in it. She'd watch it with me. Like, so I was like, so.
Yeah, I mean, where'd you start with the story in this as well?
But I want to mention so she did get a Razzie though in 1994 for the Flintstones.
Right, I was going to say, I thought you was going to say for this then.
No, for the Flintstones, like worst actress for playing Pearl Slag Hopple in the damn Flintstones movie. But
I've not
that's
seen
the end
it,
of
so
her
I can't
career,
comment, but yeah.
So, I mean, she's seen the mountaintop in Hollywood. Like she was at the peak of cinema in the 50s. 50s and 60s, I'd say. She probably, and I think she was what else was it? Was I don't want to get that wrong. I think they ranked her like 7th all-time female legend on screen. Like on-screen female legend, 7th all-time.
I would have probably put her higher than that, to be honest.
Yeah, but that's a lot. That's saying a lot for
yeah.
The history of cinema. I mean, that's still a high regard,
She started off as a child actress.
Yeah.
She was in I think one of the films that made her really famous was called National Velvet.
That's
where
it.
She's a female jockey and she wins the Grand National, which is like a huge horse race over here. No, man, this is one of her most wackiest you'll ever see performances. I was just blown away when I first saw this, but this actually went up a bit higher for me this time as well. It seems to go up more and more the more I watch it. But
yeah, I mean, the first go round, I was kind of confused and I had to sit on it and think about it. I mean, I loved it the first watch, but
yeah,
once you start like really thinking about it, you're like, okay, all right. And then you go on the second watch, and then you're like, oh shit, yeah,
it is.
Like then it clicks, right?
Yeah. So,
but
go on.
But man, it starts out like, I guess we could start like she's like on the phone with somebody, and she's making plans to go away, and she's saying, well, she's never had a break like that before or in a long time. And then she walks out of her apartment, and her apartment looks like this sterile hospital almost, but it looks like,
right.
I don't really know how to explain. Everything's like on hinges, like a table can go up to the wall. It's weird. But
yeah.
But she's dressed like she's got like this psychedelic looking dress thing on, right?
Yeah. And only she can pull that off, to be honest.
Right.
Because
so as soon as she walks, go ahead.
Go on. No, you go.
As soon as she leaves her apartment, though, there's a maid that's just sitting there laughing at her because the way she's dressed. She's like, "Oh, you're going off to the circus," and you don't know where she's at. You don't know where she's coming from. None of that. But
I think all they say is from up north, and she mentions at one point she's going down south on holiday.
Yeah, but you don't know the city, right?
No, it's kept fucking,
right.
So you never find out. But then it kind of goes. The way it's shot is so clever. Actually, we see her at an airport, and this was filmed pretty much when the Years of Lead was a thing in Italy. So you had all the terrorist groups, you had politicians being abducted, and there's that scene with kidnapped with the girl almost kidnapped in the airport.
Yeah.
So this thug or this terrorist grabs this girl by the hair and is just dragging her through the airport. Man,
They
there's
just shoot
at
him
least
dead.
yeah. And there's a bombing later on as well, which they show.
There's a
It's just
bombing in the
fucking
film.
dead bodies all over the floor.
Yeah, and that's a great scene. Like the way it's done, like the slow mo and everything. It's the most violent scene of the film. But there's one scene where she's at is it at an airport and she runs into Andy Warhol. Damn people. Like, what the fuck?
He plays this. What would you say he is? He's
an English lord.
Yeah, an English lord.
That's how they named him. Yeah.
He's in it twice, isn't he? He turns up twice, and he's very distinctive looking, and you can't miss him once you see him.
He looks almost albino in a way.
Yeah. He's blonde. He's like really blonde. It's weird.
It's like white platinum hair or some shit, you know?
Yeah. And she's a complete bitch, isn't she, to everyone early on in this film? She treats everyone really badly.
Yeah.
But it all makes sense as the film goes on. Why she's reacting in such a way. She's very cold as well. She's a very cold-hearted person.
I would say, yeah, but then all the men that are around her I would say they're, because she's pretty, you could tell there's something not right with her.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But all the men around her are the same way, in a way.
Most of the men in this are,
they're all kind of thrown off too.
Yeah. They're either rapists or they're trying it on with her or what have you. But there's a good scene early on where she boards the plane, and this guy sat next to her. He's a little bit younger. He's quite a fair bit younger actually.
Right.
And he gets this really bad vibe off her, and he gets up. You gotta like move away from her straight away.
Yeah.
And all the characters come into play later on as well. If you think about it, all the people in the airport and all that.
They do definitely. You want me to hold off on the clip, or you want me to go?
I would say go for it, and then we can work it from there. Yeah.
Okay, because this is the longest clip I got. But
yeah.
Let me catch the chat right quick. People are chatting it up in here, man. I'm glad to see it. And thanks for everybody tuning in, man. Hit the like if you want to. No pressure.
Always appreciated.
Let's see. Russell says, "Have you seen The Granny with Stella Stevens? It was a good horror film."
I've heard of it, but I've not seen it. No.
From '95. No, I haven't seen it.
I think I got the DVD of it. Funny enough, the old DVD.
Dennis Hopper in Now was playing a real photojournalist.
Is that Apocalypse Now? Is it? Oh.
Yeah, Dennis Hopper in that?
I'm not sure.
I thought it was Martin Sheen. It's Martin Sheen.
Maybe he's on about another film.
Or maybe it's a different film. Let's see. Q Boy, have you seen See No Evil with Mia? I've seen it. I got it.
Man, I absolutely champion that film.
He says saw it in the cinema when it came out and loved it. Awesome.
I think that's one of the best, even kind of like a proto slasher in a way where she's blind.
Yeah.
And she gets stalked by this guy, and we only see his feet and his legs throughout the film. And then, man, great one. Great suspense in the end.
Yeah, I've seen it, man. I got the what release is that? I can't think of what
it's a UK
release.
Yeah. I want to. No, I'm not sure. I was going to say. I'm not sure. I think
it's Radiance. I'm not sure though. It could be Indicator.
Indicator, I think it is. I don't think.
Caveman says, "Hey there, everyone. Yeah, we have a pretty big, crazy horse tournaments." Oh, yeah,
hey, what's up,
Caveman's got. What's going on, man? Good to see you. He's got horses and stuff. Oh, Caveman does.
Oh, he owns horses, does he?
Yeah.
Shit.
Russell says, "Oh, he's talking." The Kentucky Derby is the fastest 2 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, we got a derby over here as well.
Let's see. I loved riding whenever I can. Yeah, man. You guys
That's crazy. I had no idea. It's a horse.
Russell says, you guys are a great team. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Cheers, man.
Not a different film. He was in that film with Martin Sheen. Okay.
Oh, he was in it then.
Okay.
Yep.
It's been a while since I've seen Apocalypse Now. Okay. They are retired racehorses. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's right. Awesome. But yeah, man, I'm gonna play that clip now. It's a 2-minute clip of the film. Hopefully y'all dig it, man. I couldn't get one of the parts of it, but here we go.
Stain resistant?
Specially treated fabric. Oh,
Doesn't stain?
resistant to almost any sort. You always pick up something. Food, coffee, even blood. It's
Who asked you for a stain-resistant dress?
Look out, miss. You are tearing the scarf.
Well, then don't just stand there staring at me like a chicken with one eye. Help me.
Let me see your hand luggage. Come here. Now come.
This may look like a purse, but actually it's a bomb.
We are not here to joke, miss. We have our duty.
You're all so suspicious. Suspicious! Suspicious!
Go on!
I can't stand being touched. You look like Red Riding Hood's grandmother. Do you want to eat me?
I'd like to. Unfortunately, I'm on a macrobiotic diet and I can't eat meat. Because I have to have an orgasm a day on my macrobiotic diet, you see?
I am an idealist. When I diet, I diet. And when I orgasm, I orgasm. I don't believe in mixing the two cultures.
Look at this. Look what I have found. Filthy, stale. What kind of a hotel is this? Dirty. Don't you serve clean glasses to new customers? I want another glass, a clean one, now.
I'll bring you a clean one at once, miss.
Is there no one here to help me?
I don't want sex with you.
Hey, what?
Man, yeah, there's so much to this film.
It is,
It
man.
is
I couldn't
insane.
put some of that shit in there. I felt like that might have been crossing the line if I'd have put that next shit in there, but
Right, yeah. So there is kind of a nasty kind of attempted rape sequence at one point.
Yeah.
But just watching those scenes now with the kind of like Pistesky, like those two scenes I mentioned earlier with the airport and the bombing.
they do. They look
Yeah.
straight out of a Policio Teskey, man.
I would
Tesco.
say this is more in line with a Giallo film, though. Would you say?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Go
It's a
on.
mystery, psychological drama, I'd say. Psychological drama mystery, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. So when I say the film's like intercut with like fast forwarding events and going back to events, what we see is her going through the whole film, but then we see all the people that come along or that kind of interacted with her along the way being questioned by the police. And
Right.
at first, it is hard to make out all this shit. And
Yeah,
you
some
you will
characters-
need to see it twice. Yeah.
Some characters are introduced. That's how they're introduced. Is they're being interrogated by the Italian police, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. She comes and I think Andy Warhol's character, the Lord, gives her this book at one point. I think it's called The Walter Syndrome. Have you read about that, Dirk? Because this was like
I did
book-
read about what it was about. Now I know
Yeah,
that the Walter
yeah.
syndrome, or you probably know more, but I know the only thing I know about it is the Walter syndrome is a book about a serial killer who has a whole city in fear of.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I know. Yeah, I was
Okay.
I'd like to try and delve deep into that. Maybe kind of get hold of the book and read it at one point. But yeah, that's not in there for an accident. I don't think either. I think that was put in there for a reason as well.
Definitely, because it parallels to the film.
It does. It really does. I mean, I could praise this film forever, man. I think everyone really, any Giallo fans, like, don't even know about this film. I urge to like, but just a film fan in general, it is done so well. Possibly, like I said earlier, top 10 ending of all time. Really, in this kind of subgenre, I would say. For
I
sure.
try not to say that because there's so many films. You know what I mean?
Man,
But
it's got to be
up
up there,
there,
though.
though.
Just the
Yeah.
way it's done.
I don't think you'll ever guess what the hell actually is going on, and we're not gonna spoil it. So, you know.
But
we
even
got,
that. Oh, go on with the comments.
Let's see, we got Jimmy the Lips in here. Filthy. What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
Yeah. Good to see you, man. He's waving. Yeah, it never came out. Have you heard of the film Constipated? Yeah, it never came out. Oh, okay.
Oh, it's
I got you.
It's a joke. Yeah.
No, I haven't. All right. That looks fantastic. Yeah, man, it's a great film. I highly recommend this one now. So I got to back up a little bit. I'm kind of screwing up because I meant to do that on the first one. Okay. On the other side of the underneath, we're doing a complete review of Severin release. So
yeah.
Everything that's on there is the extended work print version of the other side of the underneath. It has a Sheila Allen interview, a Natasha Morgan interview, extended sequences, Penny Slinger live at the Miskatonic Institute of Horror Studies, and Penny Slinger Out of the Shadows trailer. So that's on the other side of the underneath. Did you want to keep on going on Identikit?
Man, I could go on. Yeah. If you want some of the scenes.
Okay.
So the scene of the attempted rape in the car is kind of interesting because at one point, I presume it's implied that she fucking bites his dick or what? Yeah. Did you get that vibe?
Yeah, I think so, man.
Because he's forcing her to give him.
He's trying to get her to give him fellatio, and I think she bit it for sure. You know?
Yeah. There's so many good one-liners in this as well, right? So she asks this guy if he's carrying a revolver.
Yeah.
And he says no, and she says, because if you did, you could shoot me. And that, looking back on it, that's a fucking massive clue. Did you think when you've seen it second time, it's like,
well, she's saying stuff throughout the film. Yeah.
We
got to be a little more vague, though. I think I don't want to tip nobody off.
Okay. No, because I do want people to see this.
Yeah.
I definitely want people to see this.
Right.
But needless to say, you know, all the men, like you say, are scumbag. She meets back up with that one guy, Bill, who's really weird. That clip, you know, when he's on about fucking you look like a fucking grandmother or Little Red Riding Hood or whatever.
Oh yeah, she said you look like Little Red Riding Hood's grandmother. Do you want to eat me? Yeah.
He's like that for the whole. Like he's not in it all the time. He comes back into it towards the end.
No, and he's always talking about his fucking macrobiotic diet.
You know? And he's got all these packets of rice, and the police like bust him at one point, and all they do is find rice.
Yeah.
I don't think it's implied that he's into drugs or anything, is it? Yeah, I think literally are they just bags of rice? I wasn't even sure on that.
Yeah, it's just unpolished rice, is what he says, that he has enough for two. And he keeps trying to get her to get a hotel room by him. He said he'll pay for it and everything. Like
he's completely obsessed with her. Yeah.
But look here. Let's see. We got. I'm just gonna catch a chat right quick. Sorry, man.
That's okay.
Russell says Flesh for Frankenstein is a classic horror sought in the cinema in 3D. Yeah, man, for sure.
And I think that's what Andy Warhol was either like doing Blood for Dracula or Flesh for Frankenstein. That's why he was in Italy at the time.
Exactly.
And they kind of took advantage of getting him onto this film.
Right. Let's see. Wish I picked this set up during their sale. Now, it's funny you say that because I checked right before we went on stream to see. It's on Amazon right now with a 30% off code. So it's like $48.
Holy shit.
Before tax. So if you want to get the set, I'd say go ahead and get it. I checked it out earlier. 30% off on Amazon. right now.
I'm not being funny. It's worth it just for like footprints and Identikit. Like easily. I highly recommend it just for them alone.
Yeah, for sure. But I just thought I'd let everybody know that, man, for sure.
Yeah, Texas has just mentioned it as well, I think.
Yeah. Jimmy the Lip says, yeah, it looks like a diamond in the rough, Pig. Yeah, man, it really does. It is. Identikit really is, man. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, Texas letting them know.
Oh man, don't sit on that. If you get a chance to buy it, go for it at that price.
I'd say go for it, man.
Yeah.
You can't lose. I enjoyed even the other side of the underneath. I don't know, but I mean, even if you didn't like that, I think it's worth it for sure. Let's see.
Easily.
And Fat Pig says, I'll pick that up. Hell yeah. Cool. But let's see. Yeah, I can't really say any more on what I got down here.
Right.
I do want to mention there's a part in the film though, like where the lack of absence comes up. I thought that was pretty interesting. How it makes you think, just that phrase, the lack of absence, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, let me sit back and think about that for a minute.
No,
but that's a massive fucking clue.
There's quite a few throughout.
Yeah.
Because she befriends an old woman at one point, and she kind of hides her passport in the back of this taxi, and that's another massive clue.
Right.
And obviously, this old woman's got links to her nephew. I won't say any more than that, and he comes into play a little bit later on.
Yeah, I don't think we can say anything else.
No. I do want to mention the piano score, though. I think.
Yeah, I'm saying we can't say anything else as far as the story.
Yeah. So. The piano music by Franco Manino gives it this very like fucking unsettling right up until the end. Like throughout the film, this piano score just plays,
it's a classical score.
It's superb. Yeah,
I think I wrote some of this. I'm trying to think if I did. All I got is Franco Manino. He's a. Does his name come up again?
He's on the same track. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a scene that you mentioned I think you showed at the start. I think it might have been in the intro where Elizabeth Taylor's putting on makeup, and that's become apparently like this really well-known meme that everyone kind of plays.
Yeah,
a lot of people who haven't seen this film. Yeah, you've got it on the intro. A lot of people who haven't seen this film probably remember that image, and it's very iconic for the film. But yeah, like you said, this is one I don't want to give anything away. Man, if you've not seen this film, go and watch it, and then come back to me and Dirk next time we're on or through message, and you can thank us afterwards. I'm
man,
confident.
I don't think you can go wrong with this.
I'm confident people
set,
like
I really
this.
don't. Like, and I see Fat Pig saying, which set is that? Russell.
And the House of Psychotic, yeah.
House of Psychotic Women. Russell, it's got, in case you came in late, here's the 4 films that's in it. So
I'd even say full price is still worth the money, to be honest.
Yeah, but right now you get it's on 30% off.
You've got to jump on that.
Yeah. I mean, I got it I think I paid $60 for it. But
worth every penny. I think I might have paid a little bit more as well, but it's worth every penny.
Let's see. Fat Pig says, I got Case of the Bloody Irish coming from Amazon tomorrow. Awesome.
Nice. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I still need to see that new print because Dirk sent it over to me a month or 2 ago now.
Right. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, we're caught up on the chat, man. So,
but that's it for Identikit. We can definitely give it a rating, and then you can mention the extras if you want.
I got the extras. I'm gonna mention that here in a second. So, what do you give it, Aaron?
For me, see, originally it would have been a 7, 8 to 10, but I've gone back to it over the years and watching it this time and being so kind of creeped out. It's a strong 8.5, 8 to 10 for me. Yeah, 8.5 easily.
I'm gonna
Maybe
give it the
possibly
same,
a
man. It's
9.
8.5 out of 10. No
Maybe
doubt.
a 9 in the future, I'd say, because you do need to watch it 2 or 3 times.
You got to watch it a couple times for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
But no, we're on the right kind of path with that one.
8.5, man. No doubt about it. Now, I gave Other Side of the Underneath a 6, which, that's probably
slightly generous, I'd say. But
I mean, still, man, I don't know. I don't know if it is or not. I think, I don't think I've ever seen a film like it. So, it's got
all the reviews of that, right, on Letterboxd were high as well. Well,
right.
7. I've seen
I could
7
see it going
and 8.
up, multiple viewings. But
it will go up for me, I think. Yeah.
So on this release here, Identikit, it's got an audio commentary by TCM Underground curator Millie DeChirico, and she does her commentary a little different. And from what I understand, she's a podcaster as well.
Right.
And I kind of like the way she did her commentary though. Like she kind of lets you watch the film, and then she just talks when nothing's being said, kind of thing. Like
the first half hour she's very informative and that, but then she just kind of sits back and lets you more, like you say, as you're watching it, she kind of comes in.
She's a big fan of the film though, you can tell. Like,
oh yeah.
So it kind of shows in her commentary. I think it's a great commentary she did. But and then it's got special feature, A Lack of Absence, writer and literary historian Chandra Mayer on Muriel Spark in the driver's seat.
Right.
And, that's a great little 22-minute special feature too, man. Like on the author that wrote the novella. Then it's got the driver's seat credit sequences. It's got the original trailer, and it's got the recreated HD trailer. And but I'll say, like most of Muriel Spark's novels, are very dark, and they create anxiety. This is just what I was hearing from that lady. And this is a tangled puzzle that needs at least 2 viewings, I'd say.
Yeah. And it's like you can rewatch it as well, even after 2 viewings. It's the rewatchability is like really high. I do want to mention on every single set as well, every single edition in this set is an introduction by Kayla Janice. I always mix that name up. Kayla. And she's superb as well.
She says her name's Kayla, but it looks like Kier.
Janice. Yeah,
it says Kier La Janice, but she says her name's Kayla. So
Kayla would be easier to remember. Actually,
I was kind of confused, because that's another thing. She's on every. She does an introduction.
Yeah,
on every one of the films
as well. Yeah,
she's great. She really is.
And she was the brains behind the whole thing, the box set. So you've got her to thank.
Yeah.
For this, I've heard her on different podcasts, and that her knowledge is incredible. She's up there with the likes of Troy Hayworth, and all them. But yeah, she's the one you got to thank, really.
And the rest of the stuff I got written that I got down, man, there's no way I can do that. I'm not gonna spoil the film for nobody. So
no, you'd be mad I'd be mad if someone spoiled this for me.
No shit.
I first watch it.
I'd be pretty aggravated.
Yeah.
But man, we're going on to Footprints on the Moon, or the Italian version. And this has 2 discs. So it has the Italian cut and the American, the US cut. And I was trying to figure it out. I watched both cuts, and I still couldn't figure it out. But the Italian cut has got 4 extra minutes than the US cut.
Okay, I didn't go back and rewatch that. I think I've seen it at some point.
Yeah,
but I can't remember any of the differences on screen.
One thing about the Italian cut I don't like is the very end of the film. It's at the very end of the film. If something comes up on the screen, and it don't need to come up on the screen.
Right. I think I know what you're on about, yeah.
It kind of it's on the nose kind of thing. I don't think it was the director's choice. I don't think it was Bazzoni's choice, for sure.
Right, because this is the type of film you need to make up your own mind, I think.
Right.
In terms
Definitely.
of everything that goes on, and this is one just not gonna spoil the ending either.
So I'll give the lean to the US cut. It's an hour 32 minutes, and the Italian's an hour 36. But it's known as LeOrme is the Italian title. Footprints on the Moon, and Primal Impulse,
which was this US release, I believe. Yeah,
okay.
on VHS.
1975. This is Florinda Balkan. This is a very strong role from her, and she's way different than other females in the gialli, right?
Right. So she said, interesting enough, right? She said when she read the script for this,
right,
she was like straight away wanted to do it because she was more into like something that's not quite conventional. She found, she leans more into doing. And she said as well that when she's doing a film, all she does is concentrate on her scenes. She's not worried about any of the other scenes in the film, how they're shot. She just concentrates on her stuff. And I mean, the performance in this from Florinda Balkan is fucking outstanding.
You could tell she lost 10 pounds, which I was kind of confused why she had to lose 10 pounds. But I mean, it worked.
I don't know whether it's the worry of the character. Maybe she's, the worry she's losing weight for worry and kind of all that. I'm not sure if that works, but in terms of her, she's a lot she's more normally like weight wise in Don't Torture a Duckling,
and like Lizard in a Woman's Skin.
Yeah. She's too thin in this one, to be honest. But like you say, it works. It does work.
Yeah, but. Man, so the director's Luigi Bazzoni, and we have covered this film before.
Yeah.
We covered 3 of Bazzoni's, his only 3 gialli in a stream. If you haven't seen that one, we did that with Giallo Submarine.
Way back, man. Yeah.
Over a year ago, I know, at least.
Yeah, easily,
maybe a year and a half. But that's a good stream, by the way. But my opinions kind of changed a little bit.
Okay.
On certain things about the film, but so Bazzoni's done Lady of the Lake or The Possessed. I'd say it's a proto giallo.
It is, yeah. It's like a Hitchcock.
It's like a Hitchcockian type film.
Yeah.
He's done that's 1965. He did a movie called Man, Pride, and Vengeance in 1967. The Fifth Chord is what he's mostly known for, I would say, though.
That's his big one. That was the one that they kind of tried to so Bird with Crystal Plumage was massive at the time, and they tried to ape that film in The Fifth Chord, and
you can definitely see it.
Good job. Yeah.
And he's got Vittorio Storaro, same cinematographer as Identikit. And
there's confusion with him, though. Was he his cousin or was he just a best friend? Because I've seen 2 things mentioned.
Well, see, I heard, like what I was reading too, I'm confused on that too. So I heard he was a brother-in-law, and then I've heard he was a cousin. So I don't know what to believe. But
and I've heard he was like a best friend as well. To where they
regardless,
were like,
he's family, right? At the end of the day.
Yeah. But they were very close, apparently, on set.
Yeah.
So Storaro was he was given, I think Michelangelo Antonioni phoned him up and offered him a film, which would have been a lot more, successful than this one. But Storaro actually said no, he's being loyal to Bazzoni, and he turned that film down. And even Luigi Bazzoni said to him, look, I wouldn't have minded if you'd have gone, because this is kind of a small film compared to that other one. But no, he's loyal as they come, man. And I mean, that's just the way their friendship was, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah, they're family, as far as I'm concerned. So, I mean, so did you mention like Storaro? Like he did the Exorcist, the beginning, and Dominion?
Yeah.
You mentioned that? Okay.
I mean, they're bad films, but in terms of like just the cinematography,
the way they look.
Yeah. So that is
Look
a
great.
plus, you know. And I think like Bazzoni at one point as well, before this film, before Footprints was made, wanted to do something because he'd read the Exorcist novel, and he actually said, so I'm presume this was probably before the Exorcist with Friedkin was made, but he actually said this to Serraro, I want to make something about this book, The Exorcist. And that's kind of bizarre that, you know, Friedkin went on to do what he did, which I'm glad. But
well, this was made in 75, right?
Yeah. But he'd known Serraro for like years before.
Oh, okay. He's
so
talking about it before The Exorcist.
Yeah, this would have been I'm not sure when the book was come out for The Exorcist. But
71, I think.
Yeah,
or 72.
Right. Because they did the
yeah.
did the fifth court together, so it would have been around about that time in 71, yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, but Florinda Balkan, man, you can't, I mean, I don't know. I think she kind of separates herself from the rest of the Giallo queens.
She's just a completely different fucking level to most of them, man.
She really is, man. Like her strength is not like most of their strengths, which is their beauty. Like, I'm not saying she's an ugly woman. I just think that that's not like what makes her so great. It's just her performance. And she was in this film called Flavia the Heretic in 75. Have you ever seen this movie she was in called Last House on the Beach?
No, but I do own a copy. Like, it's got Ray Lovelock in as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I've always wanted to see
it. Revenge, like Last House on the Left.
Exactly. You know? So I've always kind of like thought about us doing that at some point. So I've kind of held off.
Right. Okay. She was in The Damned in 1969, which I've always wanted to see that one.
Yep.
I haven't seen that one either. She did 6 films in the year in 1969 with
That's crazy.
Yeah. Complicated Girl 1968, another Giallo I need to see. Man, Don't Torture a Duck on a Lizard and Woman's Skin, which, you know, I don't, everybody knows that one.
She's a legend just for them too. But she did do an interesting one called Investigation of a Citizen Above Suspicion, which is like it came out in 1970. It's kind of like a proto Giallo. It's got a lot of police elements in it, like police Teskey elements as well. I highly recommend that. And I think me and Dirk, when we do get to do a Florinda Balkan maybe special at one point, that we'll throw that one in. Definitely.
We won't be able to do this one. This is the second time we've covered.
No. There's so many of her films though that we could do that we've not covered.
Definitely.
There's Ring of Death, like you said. There's That Complicated Girl. Flavia the Heretic, I'll be interested in seeing as well.
Me too. Yeah. And I want to check out The Damned. I'm real hyped about that.
We could do some kind of overview on her.
Yeah, we could do it like a retrospective.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me catch the chat right quick before we get too crazy into the footprints or the footsteps, if you go by the Italian title. So LeOrme.
Right, yeah.
So Fat Pig says just ordered it. Awesome, man. Hell yeah.
Nice, man.
Only box set I have is Planet of the Apes. Okay, that's not a bad one. Let's see. Good movies, even the cheaper ones that came out later.
Yeah.
I'm going to order it too. Cool. Hell yeah, man.
See, our job is done, man. We get
y'all hear that, Severin? If you're watching, I'm giving y'all mad props too, by the way, because y'all have been killing it for like the past year. Y'all been smashing it out the park.
I'd like to get Kayla Janice on as well at some point. If
that'd be cool.
If she ends up watching this by any chance, then I would love to get her on.
Yeah, she knows her stuff for sure. Let's see. Steve Mayer says, greetings, Dirk, Darren, and Flick friends. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Hell yeah. Covering some psychotic women.
Some very
or are they psychotic? That's the question. So anyway,
this is the ambiguity of these films, I think.
Right. Let's see. Listening to Dirk and Darren. Cool. All right, man. But let's see. How you want to go into this one? We got to mention Nicoletta Elmi.
Yeah.
Which is Mary/Paula. So
this is probably one of her strongest performances as well.
Yeah, and if y'all don't know who we're talking about, Nicoletta Elmy was in Bay of Blood, Who Saw Her Die, Barren Blood, Flesh for Frankenstein, Deep Red, Dallamano's Night Child, and of course The Great Demons, 1985.
Yeah, she plays a little bit older in Demons.
Yeah,
Who Saw Her Die for me is one of her best performances.
Yeah.
I know she's not in that film a long time, but she's great. I think she's great.
She's
in
a
this
little
one.
redheaded girl in all those films.
You'll know her if you Google her and you've seen any
And I
kind
keep-
of Italian film. You'll know.
And I keep mentioning you too, man. We got to cover Night Child at some point. For real.
Yeah, Dallamano, man. Yeah,
Dallamano,
absolutely.
the one I haven't seen. So
Yeah. Oh man, we're gonna get to everything in this like subgenre at some point.
And then you got the great controversial Klaus Kinski.
Oh fuck, man!
He was
What
probably
to say?
he was probably only hired for like a day or something, you know. But he's done like over 130 films, 40-year career. You know.
She said flew into Balkan, even though he did a day. She did actually comment on him on one of the interviews I was seeing, and she said he was just he was fucking crazy, basically. She said what he was crazy. She said what he would do.
Yeah.
You couldn't approach him and say like he stood around or talking to someone and you went to approach him. You couldn't do it. But what he would do is he'd sit off in the fucking corners on his own. And that's the only time you could approach him and talk to him. Otherwise, he was just like he was permanent, like always annoyed at fucking something or other. And he was like kind of hard to approach, is what she's trying to say. But fuck.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of shit about Kinski. But
Do you want to quickly mention a show we got planned with Kinski and a special guest?
Yeah, definitely, man. Go ahead.
No, you go. You go for it. You're the one who got the guy.
Okay,
on.
so we're gonna get Troy Howarth back on the channel February 22nd, and we're gonna do a complete retrospective of Klaus Kinski, and that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and he's the author of the book as well.
Yeah,
All about
Real
Kinski's.
Depravities.
Yeah.
So I'm confused because that's one of the books I need to buy. I've bought several of Troy's books, but I need to buy that. I'm kind of confused though. There's one book and then there's two books. So which
What
one
do you mean of the Real Depravities?
Yeah.
Is there two versions?
There's a volume 1 and volume 2. I think those are in color. And then there's another one that's I'm guessing it's the older version. But
are you sure? Because I've just got the one, and it's I'll have to speak to him about that. Yeah, it's massive. It's a massive book. It'll take you like a month to read it all.
I think the other two are in color, is what the deal is. But
yeah, that's probably I've got the black and white one, I think.
Okay.
No, looking forward to that.
But yeah, that's going to be a great one, man. We got quite a bit planned. I don't want to mention it all yet, but
no, we
that's
got
in
some
February.
Quite
That's
a few
the set date
guests
for sure.
Yeah. We've got at least 3 guests. I'm thinking of, including Troy, obviously.
Right.
So yeah. We maybe could mention them at the end if you want.
Let's see. Yeah, man. I mean, where do you want to go with Kinski? I mean, he was in Dr. Zhivago in 1965, Double Face same year, and Venus and Furs. He did 8 films in 1969.
Man.
Count Dracula, like he's got a bit part in 1970. Web of the Spider in 71. Death Smiles at a Murder, 73. Nosferatu the Vampire in 79. Schizoid 80. Venom 1981.
The list goes on, man.
There's a lot. I mean, like I said, 130 films. There's no way. But in this film, he's Mr. Blackman. And so it's kind of like unclear is it part of a film or is he real? So I don't know.
Yeah, that's for the viewer, I think, to make their mind up with that.
Definitely. Because I mean, in all honesty, man, I don't know the answer to that shit. So
I think I've got my own version, which I won't give away obviously on here because I want people to seek this out and watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of the film, because we've covered it before, we don't have to be too kind of scene for scene or anything like that. But just to say, so you've got this character. She's like a translator. She wakes up late one day and realizes like she's 3 days, or she goes into work and realizes that she's 3 days lost. She doesn't know where she is, what she did over those 3 days. She finds this postcard of this Hotel Gamma in her apartment.
I'm not trying to interrupt you, but
no, go for it, man.
It has something to do with what you're saying. So, on the first time we reviewed this, I said 2 days because, like, does that make sense? She wakes up on a Thursday.
I think it's mentioned 2 days and 3 days in the film. I'm pretty sure. Like, at first it's mentioned 3 days, and then I'm sure one of the characters or someone says 2 days.
That's what confused me. Then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, so she's literally lost 2 or 3 days of her life.
Right.
And she keeps getting visions of this man being like going to the moon, and then he's kind of abandoned on the moon.
That's at the very beginning of the film.
Yeah.
You see another astronaut dragging an astronaut, and he just leaves him there. He's asleep. And then while he's waking up, the spacecraft is leaving, and he's like, "Oh fucking shit!" Like, you know, like he's tripping out, man. That'd be big time fear, right?
Yeah. She's kind of alluded to that it was a film that she'd seen previously or something called Footprints on the Moon.
Yeah, that's what she says in the movie. She says it was a film that bothered her as a child, and she never even finished the film. So
right, but that shot of all those early shots that will come into play later on in the film, I think, to great effect.
Yeah.
But what would you say? So she goes to investigate, this Hotel Gamma. She goes to fly out, and she kind of befriends this little girl who literally says, and everyone in this kind of island says, "We've seen you before in the last 3 or 4 days or whatever."
And keep in mind her name is Alice.
Yeah. So
So
apparently she was a redhead called Nicole.
Right.
And everywhere she goes, people are alluding to this, saying hi, "Oh yeah, I was only seeing you last week," and all this.
So I'm gonna back up just a little bit. Now, Ida Galley's in this film. Evelyn Stewart, she's in it too.
Yeah.
And her name is Mary. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So when she goes to the Garma Hotel and she first meets the little girl, she introduces herself as Mary.
That's right. Yeah.
So there's a lot to this. Like,
I'm thinking and it's not going to give anything away, I don't think, with me saying this, but I'm thinking because that's in her psyche at that time, her friend's name. Who's to say that all the shit with this on this island is not, real in a way? I don't want to go any further than that, but it could all be in her head.
But also there's a part where she's talking to an old lady that's knitting on the beach.
Yeah.
And the old lady mentions there's some ancient ruins that have been buried in the bay. So this motherfucking movie will fuck your head up. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
Like to me, there's no way to spoil this film. I don't believe, because there's no one straight and narrow way, in my opinion. Like,
did we spoil it last time, or did we say the ending last? I can't remember, to be honest.
We did, but it don't really spoil enough if you think.
No, yeah.
Now, if you're talking about the Italian cut, then that's I'm not even going to include that, because I don't think that was Bozzoni's idea.
Right? Yeah. It's definitely, for me, it's a masterpiece. Even the first time I seen it, I loved it.
This has gone up, man. Like, this is my 5th time seeing this film.
It's gone up, because you worried me earlier when you said You've changed your opinion. I thought, oh fuck, now I hope you don't like it.
No, it's gone up, man.
Nice.
And I've heard people really shit on this movie, like saying it's
I have
slow.
as well. Yeah,
it is a slow burn, and it's a pure fucking mystery too, like through and through, from beginning to fucking end. Like when you finish watching, it's still a fucking mystery. I
don't know what's wrong with fucking people, man.
I love it.
I think anything that some people won't watch a film that fucking taxes your brain, and you got to think a little bit.
You got to. Like, it's not going to spoon feed you.
No, not at all. No.
This one definitely not. So,
but the score to this as well is amazing. Like there's times with the piano, I think it's played in the hotel. Like I've said it on the. I'm sure I said this on when we covered it before. But it sounds like the fucking Changeling. It's got that creepy like.
It does
sort of music tone to it. And I don't want to. I hope I don't want to come on and repeat ourselves, from before.
No, man. I've even like. I remember the first time when we reviewed this, I was like, she's definitely a stranger in a strange land, right?
Yeah.
And you get these weird. It's just so fucking crazy, man. Some of the things in this movie, like. It's hard to explain without, like, I don't really want to spoil, but then at the same time, I don't think you can spoil. Right?
Right, yeah. So go on.
So I think that the moon, like I've said this before, but I think the moon represents fear. I really do.
Okay.
The moon represents fear. It's a symbol of fear. And I think that there's a peacock in the film as well. And the peacock represents freedom, right?
Right, yeah. I think the shots with the, like you say, on the moon and the space and all that, I think that does represent some kind of anxiety. Because you're being stranded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Complete anxiety, fear. And then there's a lot of times there's like this deep blue light.
Yeah.
Now, what's going on in those scenes? Like.
Right. Yeah.
I gotta say, man, I gotta see. Y'all have to see Footprints if you haven't seen it.
Oh man, this is one of my favorite films ever.
I know it's not for everybody, but if you kind of think outside the box, you like something different, you like something that's not going to spell it out for you. I think you'll dig it. I really do. And you can't beat that performance by Bulkin. That's a very strong.
And she's the main character, and she carries the whole film because it's all about her, really. I mean, there is secondary characters, and there's a male, I should say, he turns up a few times in this, and he
what's his name? I got it, Peter McHenry, right? He's playing. Is it Henry or Harry?
So it's Henry is said on I've seen online.
Right.
But Harry is actually, so it's weird enough, right? So sometimes Harry over here are called Henry.
Yeah.
It's like Anthony and Tony.
It's a very confusing, all kind of shit about this movie is very confusing.
I think it's done that way as well to kind of.
I think it's done on purpose for sure.
Yeah. He's a great actor, isn't he? Peter McHenry. He did Hammer Haze of Horror. He did Tales That Witness Madness. The Cat and the Canary remake.
That's all I had. The Victim in 1961.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, man. And like some of the film is shot in Rome, and then some of it shot in Turkey. And like Vittorio Storaro, the cinematographer, he does like these engulfing shots, these wide angle lenses.
Yeah.
Super wide angle lenses. And like everything in the background is like huge and ginormous. And the characters are like the size of ants almost. Like superimposing. Like, I mean, it's a
masterclass, really. If you think
it really is.
Shot,
the way he gets these shots, man.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
That place in Turkey as well was kind of, I was watching as well. It's kind of like a lost town in a way. There's got old heritage in it. dating back, like ancient times, and all that was kind of, really kind of unheard of at the time. They did not know much about this town, and they found out that it's got all this kind of heritage, which kind of adds to the film.
I mean, it feels like you're in like a fantasy world, and her name's Alice too, like Alice in Wonderland.
There's no that was done for a reason,
yeah.
But the big Alice in Wonderland, yeah.
Oh man,
I mean, we've spoiled it before, but I like to say you can't spoil it in a way. But
right,
do you think it's mental illness?
I don't like to look at it that way.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that's too easy.
It's
like,
so many.
That's definitely one way.
Things.
That's definitely one way.
Yeah.
And I'm not negating that explanation. Like, there's no right or wrong the way you see the film. But that's kind of like, there's other things in the film though that kind of clue me into something else. That this ain't just that.
No, it's about destiny, I think, as well. If you think
Destiny,
about it,
it's about
one's destiny.
I mean, is this, where the hell is this world at? Like, I don't know. It's fucking, I mean, there's all kind of shit going on, man. But
there's yeah, I mean, some of the scenes is crazy as the film goes on.
It feels like everybody's out to get her too. Like,
yeah,
that's kind of what puts me at unease, like in certain parts of the film,
Yeah,
like
it's
almost
scary.
like there's, because like in the film that she keeps remembering, there's an experiment being done, right?
Yeah.
So it makes me wonder, is this an experiment being done on her as well?
Right. Yeah.
So
and it's,
there's that aspect. Yeah.
Kind of alluded to a little bit later on.
Yeah.
But I think Elizabeth Taylor said in the last film, which is I find these two films go together, actually.
They do.
She said something about one day you can be born and then the next day you die is literally like, your whole kind of, your life can just become completely fucking different in the space of a minute, is what she's trying to say. And that adds to this film as well, because 3 days and fucking,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Her whole world's flipped upside
down.
Down.
From a successful kind of translator doing well. And that's another thing. Like, Rome is supposed to be this futuristic type city at the time, innit? A lot of it's portrayed that way. Her apartments, like all this, just minimalistic.
It looks very modern, yeah.
Yeah, modern, minimalistic. Fucking hardly anything in the rooms. But yeah, she did an interview on the Shameless release actually of this, and she was, I think the impression I got is she was really pleased the way this come out.
Awesome.
Balkan.
I'm glad. I'm really glad to hear that, because
she said she immersed herself completely in the film. You could see it within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Ida Galli on this release, she said that she loved doing so many small roles because it added to her filmography. And Evelyn Stewart's is Ida Galli. She's been in so many damn movies, like I think over 60, I think, right?
Some of my favorite Jolly films as well, all around the same time.
And she spoke very highly of Florinda Balkan. She said she had great energy. She said every movement from her was like a dance.
Yeah.
She said that that basically everybody, like the top priority on the film was her, to flesh out her character.
Right.
So everybody was just working around Balkan, and she was just so serious, like really dedicated to her craft, what she was doing.
They used to get like a car go into the sets, which used to pick up Balkan and her, and she said, Ida Galli said that and this is on the Shameless release, so I'm not sure if it's said in this box set, but she said they kind of used to have a laugh on the way in, and they talk about whatever, like all her chaotic life and all this. But once they got on set, like Balkan is the ultimate professional. Right. She'd be like, she's in this, no kind of little talking on the side or anything.
Yeah,
just
the
completely
switch
engrossed.
flip, right?
Yeah, and you can see it. You can see it in the film.
Yeah. And also, Ida Galley was saying today's audience might appreciate this film more. She don't think that back then that they did, like that it was probably too cryptic and too cerebral.
Yeah, she mentions that as well on the other interview.
Yeah.
She said that it wasn't kind of well received as it should have been.
Right.
She actually says that the film could have been it didn't turn out as well as what the director and the makers, the producers wanted, which I fucking find that flabbergasting, really. To me, it does everything.
Well, probably
because
it didn't make the money that they was wanting to make,
Possibly, I wouldn't have
you
thought.
could tell they put some money in this movie, like just the locations alone. Just the locations alone, holy shit, man! She also spoke on Storaro, the cinematographer. She said he might have been the best. He was the epitome of a serious professional. He was wrapped up in his own little world. And she says she remembers he had these very huge white sheets for the lighting. He did like a diffused lighting. She was going pretty detailed into it. I was like, holy shit. But yeah, she had a lot of great information, man. I enjoyed that interview with Ida Galley. For sure.
Oh man, she it's nice to see her actually. On screen at her age now.
Definitely.
In terms of Bazzoni, so a little bit of background on him was he was a very shy person in general.
Yeah.
And he was touted by the producers at one point of being the next Sergio Leone. That they thought he would go on and make some of these big style westerns, which he kind of didn't really have much of an interest in. Because The Possessed that we mentioned earlier was really successful. And he did mention then about doing other projects with Storaro. That included the Exorcist film I mentioned. And he wanted to do something on Tarzan as well, which was kind of weird. But
Tarzan?
Yeah.
Of the time, though, you got to think Tarzan was a big deal back then. And
yeah.
Because I remember listening to Tarzan on fucking 8-track.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I remember as a kid. Yeah, it was on all the time.
I remember the 8-tracks. You remember that shit?
Yeah.
But hold on. Let me make sure I didn't. I'm not neglecting the chat, man. Let me. Let's see. Fat Pig says they ought to give you guys some review stuff. Man, I'd be super hyped if Severin did that, man. Like that'd be cool. We'd review it too, for sure.
If anyone's watching, anyone wants to send anything,
right.
we'll definitely.
We'd be glad to do it for sure.
Yeah.
Kinski's autobiography is wild. Yeah.
I can imagine.
Like
no one, and I've seen plenty of interviews with people. I've seen all the YouTube stuff on him. Not one person says any time that he was a nice man. Not one.
Right. Yeah.
And his daughter come out, and I think we mentioned it on one of his last films we covered, maybe, that his daughter's come out like fairly recently to say about possible sexual abuse claims and shit. So the way he treated women, which we will come on to him when we talk with Troy at length.
Yeah.
But the way he treated women as well is like really bad. Yeah.
Russell says, love the 2 Dr. Phibes films with Vincent Price. We did cover those films with Theater of Blood.
Yeah, absolutely. Go back and check them out.
Go back and check it out, Russell. We did. That's a pretty decent stream, I think, that we did for Price. We need to do another Price at some point.
Yeah. I've just got one in called Madhouse.
Madhouse,
the one he did in '74. So we could, we could definitely do another show.
Let's see. There's a wild documentary on Kinski on the Nosferatu and Venice Blu-ray from Severin. Okay. And I don't have the one from Severin, though. I got the one from Scream Factory.
I wonder if there's a chance to see that online, because I wouldn't mind seeing that before
we
do the show.
I'll pick that up sometime in the future. Not sure what he's talking about there. Let's see. Yeah, I think you'll dig it. Yeah, man. I'll see if it's on the Screen Factor. It might be on there too. Let's see. Just watched Nosferatu in Venice on YouTube last week. Loved it. Awesome.
I'm hearing good reviews on that everywhere. So
really goofy but good. Jimmy the Lip says not one person said he was a nice man. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, crazy.
I grabbed. Jimmy says I grabbed Paganini from the last VSL. Okay,
that's one I think we need to watch it. Yeah,
that's one I didn't grab. I should have grabbed it. Yeah, I've never seen that one either. Never watched it before. I remember when the Tarzan actor's tiger got loose like 15 years ago. I saw it on the news. Oh
shit, man!
Damn. Oh yeah. But yeah, man. Let's see. Without going any further into footprints, man. Anything else you got? Go ahead and go for it, because
I think we've pretty much said most of the stuff I've got. I'm mindful of not repeating myself on the last stream.
Right.
But yeah, I mean
that's me. I did probably repeat a few things, but I think I have changed. The thing I changed my view on was one thing. So just go back to the other review and check that out and see which one you like better. If, like, you know, bro.
In terms of ratings and stuff, for me, I've not changed at all. I don't think.
Okay, what do you give Footprints?
I'm trying to remember what I give it last time, but I definitely give it a 9 last time. But it's like a 9.5. It's almost a perfect film for me. It's not quite a 10.
Yeah,
but it's not a million miles away either. So
I think
it's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece.
I think I'm at a 8.5 still.
Okay, it's rising. Yeah.
That's
kind of
but
fair,
that could go up. Like, you know, like I said, I've seen it 5 times, and it's, you know, it's easy to watch for me. You know, I don't see where people say it's too slow or whatever.
You've got to be in a certain mind frame as well. Like get prepared for something that you're gonna actually need to think.
You're gonna have to think when you watch.
Yeah. And I don't think many people will be too disappointed.
So
for me, it's the best film in the set, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I will say on this release, Footprints, like I said, it has both the US and Italian cut. It has an intro from Kayla Janice as well.
Yeah.
Like I said, she hand selected these films, which I think is awesome. You know, like,
man, you need to get the book. Honestly, we could do streams on her books,
right?
Just go through them. Yeah.
So this release has, like I said, the Italian and US cut. Has the introduction by Kayla Janice, author of House of Psychotic Women. It has To the Moon interview with Ida Galli, which I kind of briefly touched on that a little bit, which is a great interview, by the way.
I've seen that one, yeah.
Nicoletta Elmi. It has I think it's an essay like about Nicoletta Elmi, Italian horrors, Imp Ascendant, video essay by film scholars Alexandra Heller, Nicholas, and Craig Martin. So
I did see that. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It goes through her whole filmography and how important she was in the genre. I mean, dude, bangers she had. And I mentioned that earlier already. The Italian cut's an hour 36. The US cut's hour 32.
That's right, yeah.
And it has a commentary by Kat Ellinger, which is a pretty good commentary. I
listened to that as well. Yeah. I always love listening to her.
Yeah,
she's from the UK and she's got a very southern UK accent, but knowledgeable, man.
She does a great job on it. Yeah.
Kat Ellinger, man, that's another one we might have to try and get on at some point. I'd love to like talk to her for a couple of hours.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'd be all for it. And then it's got an interview with Vittorio Storaro, an hour and 18 minutes. If you want,
it is. Yeah, it goes through his whole kind of career.
Right.
I went through it, but I'm kind of mainly focused on when he was talking about the Fifth Chord, The Possessed, and he was talking about this film as well, obviously. But it's, you know, for an hour and a quarter, you've got to read it. I would say that's the only kind of, it's not a drawback for me, but some people might, you know, might question that. But no, very knowledgeable, great kind of interview, yeah.
But yeah, man, that's Footprints, man. And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It is on YouTube as well, which is...
Oh, God, is it?
Yeah, it's on YouTube, and it's a great print. I mean, at least it was a long time ago. So, but I'm glad I got it in the collection. So,
yeah, I don't want to big it up too much, but for me, like I said, it is like a minor masterpiece.
Just keep in mind it's a slow burn.
But
it's a mind fuck of a film. Really is. But
we got a completely drastic different tone
of
film.
And this last film, holy shit. This is way different than I guess all these films are pretty much different. The only running theme is what they're all like kind of crazy.
I found Footprints and Identikit like similar. I did actually.
They're kind of similar,
kind of ways. Yeah, kind of. Not completely, but yeah.
Yeah, kind of. Not really though, if you think about it.
Yeah,
You
know,
like they look the same because of the cinematography.
Right, and
that's probably what it is. Yeah,
you know, with the ending to Footprints as well, which we kind of touched upon. I would say that is one of my favorite endings as well in the film, as well as Identikit. I mean, both of them.
You mean the U.S. cut or the Italian cut?
The U.S.
Okay.
The U.S. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Which is weird. You would think the Italian would be the better cut. But,
right. Yeah.
But it's weird. The producers are like, nope, here's what happened. And it's like, nope, I don't need to know what happened. How about that?
But
anyway.
Yeah. This one is crazy as well.
So here's the last one in the set. I like bats. It's a Polish film. And I'm probably going to butcher this guy's name. Directed by... No, I got it. I got the pronunciation, believe it or not.
Did you? I can't remember. Did you show the clip to Footprints?
No, I didn't.
I was going to say that. I didn't think you did.
Yeah, I need to show the clip to Footprints. Holy shit.
Yeah, I do that just before we jump into the last one.
Yeah. So here we go for Footprints. Sorry, y'all. Here we go.
Gunter here. Professor Blackman, do you hear me? Over. Receiving you, over.
Il y a des solides raisons pour croire si peu sous la pression de l'opinion publique générale d'une priorité absolue.
Yeah, that one was kind of hard to do, man.
No, you've done well there because you got the wide angle shots and the way it's filmed is like completely beautiful.
Yeah,
looking.
And I didn't want to give nothing really away, so I made sure the shots I picked because that clip really don't justify the film. That's just a sample, basically.
Right? No, I urge people to like check it out, man.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm glad you said something because that's shit.
Yeah, I was questioning myself then. I was thinking, did we show it?
So
no, where'd you start with this one, man?
So it's a Polish comedy horror, I would say. and it's directed by Ver Hall. I think that's how you say his name. But it looks like something completely different. I don't know how to say his first name though.
Is it Gregor Wahol?
Yeah. But I don't. It's never that way, you know.
No.
So like, I don't want to butcher his name. I'm just saying his last name. Ver Hall, I believe his last name.
Right.
Yeah. And written by Kristina Kafta. But the lead actress, Isabella, the chick that's playing Isabella is Katarzyna Walter. I believe that's how you say it. I'm sorry if I'm butchering y'all's name. I'm not from a Slavic country, so, you know, don't kill me. But yeah, so I do kind of have a brief synopsis for this one, a little bit.
Yeah.
So Isabella desires to be a human. She's a vampire, and so is her aunt. Her victims are men who try to rape her. She's only interested in Professor Young, who is not a bit interested in her. She claims she's a nymphomaniac to the other patients at the psychiatric ward, but she tells the professor and his assistant she's a vampire, but they don't believe her. She's also a virgin. Like, I'm sorry, y'all.
It is as crazy as you put it, really.
Yeah, she's a virgin. Like, it's wild, man. Like, and she don't want to be a vampire. So that's her. That's what makes her crazy.
I think what it is she takes an interest into this guy who's running this asylum, I would say. And in order to get it to him, she kind of like wants to be treated for vampirism. So we got Isabella. She's a female vampire. She lives in this small town in Poland. By day, she works for her aunt in this antique shop, and she sells kind of like teacups made of the bats, which she's been
things that she makes. Yeah, she makes.
Yeah.
She makes all this type of shit.
She goes back to her house at night where these bats kind of all form in one of the holes in her roof. And she's kind of got some kind of affinity with these bats, obviously being a vampire.
Yeah, she loves them. She takes care of them, feeds them.
Every night she sees them every night. Yeah.
Right.
It's definitely, I thought I was going to hate this one, but I didn't. I really
I'm glad that you say that. I'm glad you say.
Yeah.
I was worried. Like, I was like, I hope he likes this one, at least likes it. You know, like, I don't love the film. I think it's great. It's got
it's middle of the road. It's not up there, but
it's not a great, like, for me, my personal taste. It's not like mind blowing, but I do remember this poster back in the day though, when I was young as hell. I do remember that vividly from somewhere. I don't know exactly where.
It's something you can't. Yeah, once you see that cover with its strange colors as well in there.
Yeah, it's like the negative.
Yeah,
like a negative way it's done, and it's. Oh man, I don't know. I don't want to spoil it.
I mean, we won't give away the ending.
I'll touch on Walter, the woman who plays Isabella. Though she was a graduate from the Academy of Dramatic Arts in Wrocław, Poland, and she was a theater actress in Warsaw as well. Over 30 projects she worked on, like television and film. She was on Dancing with the Stars. Like,
right, the Polish version, yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen that show, but you know, whatever.
Right.
Let's see. There's a great commentary, though, I'll say, from Polish. It's on Polish cinema as well when you're watching the film. Okay. The commentary on there, is from Kamila Wylewska. All right, she's an actor or actress and a co-editor of A Story of Sin, surrealism in Polish cinema. And her being an actress, when she's doing the commentary, she kind of goes into like this vampiric type voice, and she starts explaining how the vampire originated from Eastern Europe in Poland and the Slavic countries as well. Like, and like she kind of explains like either her or Kayla Janice, I think one of them were saying that vampires were born, and like in that mythology,
Yeah,
in that part of the world, they were born. They had two hearts, and like one heart would was dark, and it would like take over the other heart, and that's kind of like the lore on it a little bit. I don't know a ton on it, but I will say in this film, like everybody kind of gets what they deserve in this one. Well, exception of one guy. Like,
right. So what I like about this early on as well, and it's not really explained, it shouldn't be, I guess you just, but while all this is happening and she's picking off these male victims, because her aunt is in the shop and her aunt wants her to settle down with some man, you know, and live a normal life, to some point. But there's like a serial killer going around at the same time, killing people, killing women, I suggest, or men, I don't know.
Yeah.
Was that supposed to be her? Or was there kind of a serial killer in the background working at the same time?
I took it doesn't really. Her.
Yeah, maybe I was looking too much, like thinking too much.
But she chooses her victims like she don't. She's kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde too character. Like we were talking about the two hearts.
Yeah.
Because in that lore they have two hearts. One's darker than the other, and because she at one point she's even like yelling at somebody, calling them a monster and shit.
Yeah, right? There's some weird shit that goes on in this as well, where so kind of the guy she gets infatuated with is named Rudolph Young.
Yeah.
And there's a nightclub scene where this fucking woman just completely like strips off topless at any opportunity. It's got this weird vibe about it. And I think he actually says, doesn't he, at some point, I'm not even interested in women. Yet, as the film goes on, you can see, you know, these two obviously become, I don't think it's giving away too much when you say that there's romantic, you know, element involved.
Yeah, she's really like there's other, there's one man that's really like trying to get with her, trying to be with her, but she has no interest. But the one guy that's a running theme in some of these movies, right? In two of these movies.
Yeah.
So this kind of links up to Identikit in that way.
It does. Yeah, it really does.
Because there's one guy that shows no interest in her, and she's like completely infatuated with him. So
yeah, it's because she goes through all this treatment like hypnosis. No, like she like famously says in the film, no one can hypnotize me.
She can't be yeah.
And the X-ray machine, she's not even picked up on the X-ray machine. There's something going on there.
They're really puzzled too. They're like, "What the fuck's going on here?" You know, like,
and obviously she can't see a reflection as well at one point. Obviously, being a vampire,
but, she does though.
She does towards the end, doesn't she?
Right.
Yeah. So it's very ambiguous, like you say. It's a lot of things you've got to kind of, I don't know. I mean, it's an easy watch. It flew by for me. It's not boring.
Like I said,
it's
a comedy horror from Poland. I dig it. I think I'll watch it again for sure. I've done.
What do you think of that one guy though? That one comedy guy. He's always laughing all the time.
Oh yeah.
That is quite jarring at one point.
He's like playing pranks on these vampires. It's funny though. I thought because they're
funny,
vampires and they're like they're actually scared shit. Like this is what kind of like the aunt is anyway, right? But that's early on in the film. That's early on.
It's a unique like mixture of horror comedy. It's fucking dark in places.
There's no way that I could give you the review that Camelia Wylewska gave though. You know, on that commentary. I mean, it's great the way she does it. She speaks like in a vampire voice and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
I really dug that shit, man. I thought it was cool. But
there's a weird so the score is like a prisoner score, and it uses this weird like whistling, but it does work for the film.
It does work, yeah.
Yeah,
it's a catchy whistle because I caught myself doing that shit.
It does, yeah.
I was trying to do it anyway.
It's so catchy. I actually thought, have I heard that before, or is like Tarantino maybe nicked it at some point, which he usually does.
He might have, because this is from '85.
Yeah, I've heard that. I'm sure I've heard it somewhere else, but yeah. No, you could do a lot worse than this one. I went in expecting zero expectations.
I see Russell asking. He said, What's it called? It's I Like Bats.
Yeah,
that's it. I Like Bats. That's the name of it. But
I mean, it's not to the level of Footprints or Identikit. It's nowhere near, to be honest.
No.
But it's definitely I don't think I'll go back to it anytime soon or anything. Maybe I'll listen to that audio commentary.
I'd probably watch it every couple of years or so, something like that.
Yeah. It's kind of middle of the road for me, I would say. I would give it a 5.
I think I'm gonna go 6 out of 10 on this one.
Have you got a clip for this one as well, Dirk?
I do got a clip for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Show that, man.
Let me catch the chat right quick, and I'll show the clip.
Yeah.
Kind of give people an example. Theater of Blood is a classic. Yeah, man. Darren, I think you like that more than the Dr. Fives.
I did, yeah. That kind of had the whole Hammer feel to me. But I like the Dr. Fives as well, yeah.
Crazy story. Let's see. Russell saying happy Xmas and Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah, man. Everyone. Yeah. Hope you all have a good time over there.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone. Fat Pig says.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dirk and the CWO are the best channels. Oh, man. Appreciate you, man.
Nice, man.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah. But I got a clip, man. Y'all want to check this out? So
yeah, definitely.
Here we go. All right. Here we go.
Yeah, I think that's one of the only times you see her with vampire teeth.
Yeah, that's why she's like freaking out because she don't really reveal them. That's an iconic scene though. I got to give it that for sure.
Yeah.
Just the whole look on her face.
It's a very good performance by her, I'd say.
I think it's great acting all around. Even that crazy guy in the insane asylum, the writer, but he don't ever write, or the painter.
He paints all these fucking murals and shit, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she gives a bang up performance, man. She's strangely she's an attractive woman, obviously, but she does it. I don't know. It's the way she plays the part. It's, to me, even though she's playing a vampire, it's kind of believable to a certain degree. But yeah, I mean, it's similar along the lines of, is it fucking madness? Is it, you got to make your own mind up, really. Is she really a vampire? You got to ask yourself that.
Yeah, and then there's something else comes in play at the end that's great. I love the end. I love the way.
Yeah, that could. And again, with that, I'm not going to give anything away. But could that be like a dream sequence or something? You just don't know. You've got to work all this out for yourself, really.
Right. But let's see here. Chris C says, I just got Theater Blood from the Kino cell. Awesome. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I think you'll like that one, man.
Classic.
Let's see. I have that classic on DVD. Yeah, it's a good one, man. It really is.
It's almost like a proto slasher in places.
I got the arrow of that one. Let's see. Russell says Alyssa Milano was great in Embrace of the Vampire.
I've not seen that one.
I might have seen it because I've seen a ton of vampire shit back in the day, like when I was young as hell. Like it's one of the things that got me into horror. Like there was a book called Curse of the Vampire. That's really what truly got me into horror.
You're because I'm not a big vampire guy. I will admit that. You're much more into it than me. But I don't know, every so often I'll come across one and they'll take
Well, it got me deeper into horror because I'd seen shit when I was a kid, you know. But
you're big on the old Hammer stuff as well, aren't you? With Peter Cushing and Vincent.
It was always on, man. Like every Saturday.
Vampire,
yeah. Every Saturday I was watching vampire flicks or whatever Commander USA was showing. I was watching that shit, you know, like it was wild shit all the time. Like,
I mean, I grew up with the Hammer films, but I never kind of like went with them a lot. I liked them for what they were, but they weren't kind of my type of film, if that makes sense. I was more into like the slashers. And
Steve Mayers says, anybody seen and recommend Silent Night, Bloody Night?
I've seen it, but I don't know whether I could recommend it, to be honest. Again, it's very slow. It's very it's a chore to sit through at times, but over the years I've kind of like warmed to it a little bit better.
I'll tell you one that's a chore. Fucking Bloody New Year.
Oh man, that was filmed not far from me as well. That's filmed on Barry Island.
Yeah. I'm not a massive fan on that one.
Norman J. Warren. Yeah. I will recommend a film though. I think I've spoken to you before that he did called Terror, and it's the UK equivalent of Suspiria. I would highly recommend that one. But Bloody New Year, like people have mentioned that all throughout my childhood, I've seen that, and it is fucking awful.
It is.
I hate the twist. The
it's
twist
horrible.
with the hotel back in time and all that crap just doesn't work.
The time travel shit.
But where that hotel is on the cliff, I've walked past there many a fucking time on vacation.
Oh, hell.
Yeah.
I like the setting. Don't get me wrong. I like the exterior shots and all that. That's cool. But
yeah, Barry Island's a beautiful place, but
it's
just a shitty film.
Russell says her nude scenes were erotic. Okay, cool. Talking about Milano. Steve, great slasher. Curse of Frankenstein is a masterpiece of a Hammer film.
Yeah, well, I've just recently seen that because we mentioned it when we was talking on Visited by Voices.
Yeah, we were just talking about it on Visited by Voices when we was covering the Frankenstein stuff.
I think that's one of the best that I've seen, vampire Frankenstein wise.
Right. Grew up with Hammer films, classic. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's nostalgia really for me.
Well, man, I guess is there anything else you want to mention on I Like Bats?
No,
I'm sorry that we didn't go no deeper on that one, but it's a comedy horror.
I don't think you can go deep, really, can you?
Right. Without spoiling, I don't want to spoil that one because it's I don't know.
Right. So obviously we'll give our ratings to it. But I want to get your rating on the whole box set as well, 8 to 10. If you put them all together, I think that'd be interesting to do. I could go first if you want with I Like Bats. To me, it's just middle of the road. It's like a 5.5 if I was, want to be a little bit more generous. But it's by no means boring. It's never boring. It's a decent watch.
Shot really well.
Yeah,
it's got this great. Watch. I'm not even, I've kind of got lax a little bit. I did a lot. We did a lot of work, but one thing I should have got was the history on that castle. Did you get? That's an old castle.
No, I didn't look into that.
That's an old ass castle though, and it's killer. It's really a major set piece of the film. Like,
I mean, yeah, we didn't mention the gothic look of the film as well.
right.
It does nail that. It's got this gothic look about it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
what's your rating on the film alone?
I'll probably give this one, man, like I'm gonna have to go a little higher. I think
Okay.
6.5 out of 10.
Okay, yeah. I gathered you would like it a little bit more than me because the whole kind of vampire thing.
Well, I mean, for me, it wasn't. There wasn't one that I didn't like. You know.
Yeah. So, what would you rate the box set out of 10?
So, okay. So we got. I got to do this. The Other Side of the Underneath, I gave a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Identikit. What did I give that one a? 8.5?
8.5, yeah.
Yeah. I think I gave Footprints the same, 8.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
And then I Like Bats gets a 6.5 out of 10. So I'm thinking, what is that, an 8 out of 10?
I would say that roughly translates to about an 8.
That's an 8 out of 10 box set for sure.
I'm going different with this because even though I give the other two films kind of a low rating,
yeah,
I'm giving this box set like a 9 for all just for the two films alone, plus all the extras,
plus all the extras. I might give it a 9 too, man.
Yeah, it's a 9. It's a 9 all day long.
It's a 9 set for sure, man.
And if you throw the book in that I got as well,
right?
Yeah, the whole thing is just the two of them together. The whole kind of bundle thing. It's a 9 easily. I think she's superb, Kayla.
I think she's done a great job picking these films too, because they're all different, but they all have that same running theme. But I
think, it's kind of genius how she put the 4 of these together in a way.
Yeah, really is.
Like, because no one would be thinking along those lines at all. But she's kind of got them, and they all kind of, like you say, they fit the box set.
Right.
Just the amount of time. Did you realize, right? They had 3 months to put this box set together. 3 fucking months, and you look at the quality of all the audio commentaries and the introductions, the extras, interviews,
all the special features.
That's insane that they had 3 months. Because I went back and listened to the Severin podcast where she's on there and she mentions all about it. 3 fucking months, man.
Damn.
Insane.
Okay. Well, man, I guess we're gonna get out of here. I think Darren is gonna take a break, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna take 2 weeks off, and then I'm gonna come back fighting fit on the 5th of January, I believe. Right. But yeah, are you gonna do something in the middle, Dirk?
So next week, I am. I'm gonna do. Hold on, I got them right here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have. I don't want to name everybody's name yet because I want to make sure everybody can show up. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
But I'm gonna have some guys on, and we're gonna be covering Raiders of Atlantis.
Okay. Yeah.
That's on Diodato, I believe.
Yeah.
And some post-apocalyptic type films. Warriors of the Year 2072 with Lucio Fulci's film.
Oh, okay.
And then Enzo Castellari's I don't have a physical copy of it, but it's the Bronx Warriors, 1990 Bronx Warriors. So we're going to cover those 3 films.
I think Dirk wanted to cover them because he knows I kind of got no interest in them. So
yeah,
I know
man.
you've been dying to get them on.
It's exploitation. It's post-apocalyptic exploitation. And they're all 3 Italian. So I was like, I've been kind of wanting to do it for a while. So
I'll be checking out the stream anyway. I'll be in the comments. See what they're like.
I'm gonna have some crazy clips and shit.
Oh god, yeah.
But
I just didn't want to commit to those films just in case, because I don't want to come on and just bad me for film. And
I tell you all the time, it don't matter. Like if something, if you don't like something, you don't like it. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
But let's see. Let's see. From the Criterion side, I just got Vampire from 32. Anyone seen it? Yes, I have seen it. I've watched that whole set. It's great history on is that 19th? Yeah, I do got that set. I watched the whole damn thing.
I've not
it's
seen
hours worth of shit in that release.
Okay. Yeah.
Russell says IRC will return. I will return. Great stream and films. Dirk and Darren, good night all. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, cheers, man. Thanks.
Let's see. Good night. Take care, Steve. Appreciate you, Alan. Everybody have a fantastic Christmas. Y'all have a good one, man.
Yeah,
I love all those movies. Hell yeah, man. Cool.
Have a great Christmas. Have a fucking great Happy New Year.
I'm assuming Fat Pig's talking about these Italian exploitation post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to be back anyway. You know, like you say, Dirk's back next week, and then we're going to come back together then in January. We got some guests, man. We got Troy Haworth. We got the Hazes of Doom set in the first week of January with
January 5th.
Daniel Shine.
I believe it's January 5th. We'll be covering the Houses of Doom.
Yeah. We have got another guest. What am I blanking? We got Troy. Oh, we got Pops. I don't know if you've. So we
got Pops Movie Dungeon coming on the Euro Crypt. We're gonna cover some Policio Teschi.
That'll be a good one, man. That'll be a good one.
Castellari as well, and Franco Nero. All three are Franco Nero and Castellari. So
yeah, we're doing 2 weeks back to back of Franco Nero as well.
Yep.
Some great stuff to come. So thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate everyone for like tuning in all year and all this. And let's make like 2025 just as good, hopefully, and you all come back and hopefully we do these films justice. And that's the main thing, is to get people to watch some of these lesser known films, which I feel we're doing to a certain degree. So I'm looking forward to what's to come.
And I guess we're gonna get out of here, man. Texas says good night, gentlemen, and everyone. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
And you, Tex.
Merry Christmas, Happy Christmas. Love all those movies. Yeah, those Mad Max ripoffs. Hell yeah, man. God bless us, everyone. Good night, Texas, and Happy Christmas. And everybody, have a good, safe year, rest of the year, man. Y'all be good. Or be good at it. One of the two. And
yeah, for sure.
Y'all have a good one. And if you can't find a good one, remember, she'll do for the night.
Have a good one, guys.
Yeah, man.
If you think you're going to have sex with me, you're very much mistaken.
But I haven't had my daily orgasm.